Welcome, and thanks for joining me for Pathfinder Kingmaker. Just made it back to town, Tuskdale. I think I keep calling it Tuskvale. I don't know why I got that stuck in my head somehow. Yeah, so here's Ekondayo and Dog. That's the dog we saw in our character portraits here. Let's see if it still shows up here. Yeah, there it is. So I don't know why it shows up here, but let's talk to them and see. We can't talk to the dog. We can talk to Ekon. Ekondayo looks somewhere beyond you. Forgive me, friend. My thoughts are on Kargad right now. Tell me about yourself. Don't want to rake up the past. Not now, when the wound still bleeds. Must kill Kargad and regain my peace. Is Kargad the troll? I can't remember. Okay, we'll talk later. No, he's wanting to deal with the trolls. Was Kargad their leader? Let's see if it tells us that somewhere. Okay. The Wounded Ranger has the scary, almost dead expression as if he's a ghost who only remains in this world to settle a score. He told us he's been looking for Kargad and some other trolls who destroyed his village and devoured his family. Okay. So Dog just goes with him now, I suppose. Okay, so the other thing we're going to take care of while we're here, we've got, where are they? We're starting to build up a library of stuff we haven't read. I didn't feel like reading some of these when I was sick. What I'm not sure about is if we should save any of these or if going ahead and selling them. I've been reading them and then selling them. If there's any point in hanging on to them, we could always put them in our stash. If not, I might as well just sell them for the gold. This worn parchment we've read. I think I was going to save that just in case. Chronicle of Blades. The history of Rostland is known for its many mysteries. One of them is the story of Baron Syrian the First. Syrian was a furious fighter, although not highly skilled. There were malicious rumors that he fled to Rostland to hide from the sneering public after he'd lost dozens of duels in his homeland. But his new home greeted him with yet more misfortune. He waged not a fistful of coins, but a whole settlement in a duel with a gang chieftain. But the Baron was broken again and left Rostland in shame. He dropped off the map for several long years, and quiet anonymity changed him completely. Not only did he return home bearing a new name, Syrian Aldori, but he had also acquired a new gift. He no longer had any equal in sword fighting. Syrian challenged the chieftain who had once disgraced the young baron, and slew him in the blink of an eye. Afterwards, he announced a reward of 100,000 gold coins to anyone strong enough to defeat him in battle. Alright. On the nature of the divine. Can a mortal become a god? Is the very idea blasphemy? Science relies on experience where there may be evidence presented in support, but when science encounters theology, it recoils. The term evolution has no application to the divine spark that illuminates dull matter in incomprehensible ways. The foremost example is angels, to whom we owe the existence of our virtuous mortal souls, which brings us to a paradox. A mortal soul transforms into an immortal essence. There are many such breathtaking events which each promise a connection to the divine. Sunny Sarenrae is perfect proof of this. The Starstone trial desecrated divinity turned it into a god's exam, where any trickster with a handful of spells, who can avoid some traps in a deadly maze, may rise to divinity. Is the nature of divinity, then, so sacred indeed? Prodigal Sons. I don't think I've read this. It's done, I said. Milliken studied me with narrowed eyes. You look awfully clean, he said. Where's the knife? In answer, the first shouts went up from the inn. Fire, screamed Ilna, and then other voices joined hers. In an instant, Milliken's entrepreneurial instincts took over, and he sprang for the door, tossing the crossbow aside. Outside, the roof of the inn was already smoking oily black against the sunset. Aim? Something licking through flames? Flames licking through the thatching in places. With a scream of pain, Milliken ran for the creek. I looked to Fargus. Needing no further cue, we each grabbed up armfuls of supplies and sprinted off in the opposite direction. After 10 minutes of leaped brambles and ducked branches, we stopped to catch our breath. Back the way we'd come, the smoke was still visible, though the sounds had faded to just the faint and frantic pealing of a church bell. That was close, Fargus said, leaning against a tree and breathing hard. Agreed, I puffed, staring down at the cloak full of bread that now made up our sole possessions. Then the sound of the bell reminded me of something. About what you said back there, I asked. You said Shaylin. I thought you were a priest of Desna. Fargus grunted. A man's faith is a personal thing, he said, tying up the cloak. Now shut up and keep running. And we did. Secret overlords, the essence of the world order. Until recently, we knew this world as it was described in books and stories. A sewer torn apart by hyenas that separate us with nations and borders, oppress us with extortion and lies, and assert their authority and power. However, someone else's hand rules these slaves who act like masters. It's a threat far more intimidating than a handful of arrogant fools. Our lands are secretly ruled by the most ancient creatures of Golarion, the inhabitants of the ever-dark depths, who know both past and future. People are led along paths they cannot see and do not have the power to leave, to an end known only to our hidden masters. Some insist that the signs are purely coincidental, but they point to a vast conspiracy. Only a fool can fail to see how the myriad coincidences weave into a great cobweb, where they have submitted their very will and sworn their allegiance to our unseen masters in the depths. The Curse of Ancient Eobara by Hastif Ume. Tell us, O teacher, why would Brevoy call us barbarians in the books you give us? The gods become angry with our homeland, my son. This land has devoured so many great empires as if it was unwilling to bear life. There are centuries-old ruins around our settlement. They were ravaged by a star that fell from the sky. The kingdom of the Cyclops was the first victim of its curse. New settlers claimed this land 10 centuries later to establish a beautiful country named Eobara, which stretched from the Lake of Mists and Veils to the Castrovan Sea. But the curse still lay upon these lands, and trouble came once again. Our ancestors suffered numerous maladies, the tear plague, the char death, the choking death, one after another, leaving only pain behind. People say that Otib, the necromancer, was to blame, but who knows? A great civilization was turned to dust. This is why I'm teaching you. Brevoy shouldn't make fun of you or call you barbarians. Okay. Just a couple more left. The Great Debates by Valera Ilio, publishing house of the Temple of Iomide in Origent. Today, many know of the these names. Today, many know of the Saramgamin order and respect its teachings, even endorse them. Such was not yet the case on that memorable day when an unheard-of forest hermit came to a temple of Sarenrae and challenged the high priestess to a debate. This was Avalo, whom none had yet called teacher, a traveling wise man who left Jalmare in search of wisdom and found it here in Andoran, while meditating in the Arthfell forest. The revelation he received was as brilliant as it was controversial. According to his philosophy, truth lies not only in venerating the gods of the good and order, and it's curious that while recognizing Aristil, Abadar, Shaylin, Irorai, Iomide, and Sarenrae, he at the same time rejects the kinder gods of chaos, such as Desna or Caden Kalian. Instead, he pursues the so-called wise way, a common principle said to underlie all the teachings of his favored deities. Avalon has defended this philosophy in debates with many theologians from various temples. Only a few of them were converted on the spot, but gradually a circle of loyal disciples formed around him. By turns, this circle grew into the order he calls Saramgamin, which means the way of a hero, or perhaps the way to making the world a better place. In this book, I recount the story of these early debates, including detailed theological comments on the central points of each side. Okay. The Legend of the Pathfinder by Aaron Rorvey. The door flung open, the three chaps sharing adventure stories fell silent. "Hail, friend," said the visitor in a deep voice. "Have you got a room for me, master?" The bored half-elf behind the counter peered into the visitor's face and whistled. "Blimey if it isn't Gregis Jeffs. Hail, friend. Let me give you a room. Your gold is no good here." "No, I'll pay for it in full. That's what the society is for, helping and sharing." Gregis nods at the three chaps. "So there's my replacement. Have you held the confirmation yet?" "We've got one last trial to go," the youngest blurted out and popped up from his chair. "It's such an honor. I've read all the chronicles, all about your adventures." "I heard you joined the Decemvirate," Gregis, another uttered. "Oh, did you? You should cut off your ears then. They deceive you. Am I wearing a mask?" "You ain't." "Good for you. A pathfinder with no eyes is no good. I'm not interested in politics. I'm interested in seeking. So are you going to pour me a beer? And I'll tell you a couple of tales." Okay, we've got a few left. I think that's enough for now. We're gonna unload those books with Hassif. And then anything else that we've got here. These notes I'm going to throw in my chest in my room. Let's get all those. I think I'll just throw these in my chest too. They don't specifically say sell them to a merchant, so maybe we'll hang on to them. Let's see, we read that. All kinds of stuff here. I guess it's been a while since we've been back here. I haven't looked at a guess. It doesn't matter who we sell this stuff for. We get a better price from someone else. Okay. That feels good to get that cleaned out a little bit. Mushrooms. Okay. Sell that stuff. And then we picked up a buttload of these Masterwork Great Clubs at Tranquil River Bend. What are they? Light mace. Yeah, don't need those. Some nunchaku. Great Club +2. That's worth $2,000. Now this might be something we want to keep for Amiri since it's got the bludgeoning damage. She could switch to that as needed. We've got an extra shield here. That was Hiram's shield we got rid of. Then these things. These are where I don't know if we should be like throwing these on some of these other people that we're not using. Just so they have a little bit just in case. We're up to 25 grand. We may want to buy some build points with some of that money. Guess we could look at any equipment we want to buy, but I don't know. We've gotten by pretty well so far on things we've picked up. For the most part. Cloak of Shadows. Stealth. Plus 10. While we're here, let's pick up some of these. He's got a limited supply of this stuff. Okay. Deal. Wand of Bless. Yeah, these wands, I don't know if we're ever going to use. Wand of Magic Missile, we might. The Grease Wand's not bad too. Cure Light Wounds. Bless, I guess we'll keep them. Okay. Also, before I forget, we should buy camping supplies. So I could see myself going in and resting, taking care of kingdom stuff, leaving, and forgetting to buy those. Question is, who has them? Does she? I don't think she's the one with those. No, she's got the scrolls. We could buy some of these. Make sure we're okay with other stuff. Okay, camping supplies. I think one of these three over here have them. It's probably the guy we were just talking to. Was it Hesef? Yeah. Seems like we go through these quickly. I know they're pretty heavy. 100 pounds. Okay, let's head into our throne room.
No stopping now.
We did pick up a few artifacts, I think. So we need to talk to Storyteller.
I'm hungry. When we stop?
Oh, we've got a request here. A peasant woman, her face soaked with tears, approaches you quickly. Oh, your grace, woe is me. I have met my darkest hour. You are my last hope. By all the gods ever prayed to, don't leave me in need. My name is Jenna Tannerson. Our village is a short way from here. It's been 2 days since my boy Tig ran away and I haven't seen him since. We've searched and searched, but it's no use. If you don't find him, no one else will. Do you have any idea where he went? There's this old hag in the Gnarl Marches, a swamp witch. I won't say her name out loud, don't you even ask. The mere thought of her chills the blood in my veins. She has the evil eye and she eats people. She even turns into a black raven and soars in the sky. It's sure as day that she took my boy. Do people disappear frequently? They sure do. There are so many hazards around, it's hard to name them all. Wild beasts in the forest and monsters and some troblins and bandits and whatever. Even adults have a hard time surviving here. And for a little kid, oh. Oh, well, I don't really have time for this, but we'll try to find him. Oh, your grace, thank you so much. I'll be praying to Aristil to grant you long life. If there's any news, I'll be nearby in the tavern. May the good gods help you. Got a little bit of loyalty and XP. Lost child. What kind of parents will let their child roam through the woods? Even more seasoned. Seasoned adventurers might become something's snack. Looks like our Baron may have to babysit his subjects, literally. Heeding the hopeless pleas of a poor village woman named Jenna Tannerson, we're heading out to look for her missing son Tig, an innocent child who was fool enough to take a stroll through the dangerous forest. We should hurry or the little brat could end up as a little pile of bones. An old witch lives in the swamp that locals call the Gnarl Marches. Jenna's convinced that it was the witch who stole her boy. So she says we should hurry, but doesn't give us a deadline. Unlock any secondary stat of your barony. The stronger the barony and more perspicacious its ruler. That's a new one. I'm going to have to look up that word. The more new opportunities he has every day. Consistent and steady commitment to state affairs will inevitably bear fruit. And on top of that, it will create new openings for future leaders. Unlock any secondary stat. Don't think I know what a secondary stat is, but maybe it'll tell us here. Citizens are concerned about their safety. They wish to raise funds to build fortifications around their villages. Opportunity. That one we're probably not going to get to before the first of the month. Because we're going to be... As soon as Amiri is done this, she needs to go on troll sightings. Oh, he's done in 3 days. So he could actually do this. Okay, so I think... I guess I could just do it now, maybe. I'm thinking about just skipping time while we're here. Maybe before we do that... I still don't know how we add another region. The just says it will be available to claim in the future. So maybe that just happens eventually. Secondary stats. I wish we could look at the journal from that screen.
Rest is in order.
Unlock any secondary stat of your barony. So maybe that just happens with consistent and steady commitment. And this doesn't say how we add regions, it just says we need to. Okay. Let's save. I really don't want to screw this up.
Resting would be nice.
Okay, let's go ahead and spend the night, or however long this takes, to rest. And we're going to drop a couple things in here. These notes. There's maybe no reason to keep them, but... And then these toys. Okay, we've still got some books to read. We'll do that another time. What else did we put in here? A bastard sword, a crossbow. Oh, here's that crossbow that we were going to put on him. Instead of this one that he's got. And Amiri. Troll Reaper is what she's using. Her ginormous sword is hers, so we're leaving it on her for now. That Masterwork Earthbreaker. 2 to 12 damage. I was thinking about swapping this Great Club +2. I don't know if it's actually that much better. It's probably going to see limited use anyway. Let's put it on. Swap back there to your Troll Reaper. Okay. So let's head back out here.
Onwards.
And we'll do another quick save. Then we're going to get into our kingdom table and probably skip a couple days. I don't know why this makes me nervous. Okay, Jubilast is done. Triumph. The treasurer managed to invite several guests from the neighboring countries. Many well-known wizards and magic researchers have visited the barony to study this unique phenomenon. We got +4 to economy and +1 to divine and arcane. Okay, so now we can put him on this one. And then we'll skip one more day. Did we get a new project or something? The River Maiden, triumph. Our soldiers stormed into the mermaid's waters and scared her off. She's abandoned the whole river, and merchants now choose this safe route over the others. +3 to military and 2 to economy. So our economy, we can rank up now. But first, new troll sightings. Oh, this is going to be us. The treasure wants to talk to us. This is the one we want to put Amiri on. I think we'll just hope that 80% is enough there and save our crisis points. Wonder if we get more of these. Okay. We need to be probably working on some of these projects. Rank up. We should be able to rank up our economy. Maybe we have to leave and come back to this. Okay, Keston wants to talk to us. I always call him Kessel too, I think. Keston Garrus, Your Grace. Keston's face looks worried and fearful. Your Grace, ill news from the Gnarl Marches again. There were already many trolls there, but now people are afraid to leave their houses. The wilds are said to be swarming with them. The hunters were the first ones to notice, then came the merchants delivering packages and food to the outskirts of the barony. Now there are more and more reports of trolls attacking villages. At first, I took the reports for gossip, thought it was just the fear talking, but a local group of merchants recently reported that most of the trolls seemed to be lurking around the house of one Bartholomew Delgado, an odd mage living out in the wilds all by himself. They're saying there are so many trolls out there nobody can reach Bartholomew for fear of the beasts. Keston's face goes dark. Those trolls are up to something, and this strange Bartholomew fellow is clearly tangled up in it somehow. If the wizard's gotten some idea in his head to conspire with the trolls, we should make the first move and hit them with a preemptive strike. However, if the trolls are coming for him rather than to him, it would be an enormous help if you could pay a visit to Bartholomew and figure out what's going on. I recommend haste. If nothing is done soon, there may be a grisly fate in store for your subjects. Alright, that sounds concerning. What happened there? Jubilast cordially greets you with a document. Baron, you will never guess what your treasure is holding. This is a list of things that tumbled out of the wall of your own basement as the workers were undertaking repairs. A gilded guard, 1. Silverware, 3. A set of old coins. The list is long and varied. So I'll get straight to the point. It appears that your workers uncovered the Stag Lord's secret cache. Items stolen from his own henchmen. Finding the true owners of these things would be a hard and thankless job, while taking these trinkets for your own chests is complicity to expropriation. In other words, robbery. As your financial advisor, I recommend a compromise. Appraise these riches and spend an equal amount on reviving the villages laid to waste by the bandits. Let these treasures bring some good to those who suffered most under the Stag Lord. Choice effect. Oh, so loyalty +3, community +3, or 60 build points. These things don't belong to me anymore. Then they belong to the Stag Lord. Order them returned. The owners of these things might be dead or on the run. We'll use them to revive the villages that suffered the most under the Stag Lord's reign. Take these riches to the treasury, or let him decide. This was kind of his idea. Yeah, who knows where these people are right now. And we get +3 to community, which I think is one of our lower... we're doing decent with loyalty at the moment. The owners of these things might be dead or on the run. We'll use them to revive the villages that suffered the most. I knew you would follow my advice. Community +3. So that the notification we got up here looked like a failure of something. It seems that several trolls are maundering around the house of a strange hermit mage in the Gnarl Marches. We need to learn whether this mage is conspiring with the monsters or in need of our help. So we tried to talk to Ekendayo. This says he has ideas about where we should focus. Maybe he's just marked them on our map. He didn't want to talk to us. What was that red X notification we got? We need to go meet the nymph. Locate the ancient outpost. I guess these are things he's already marked on our map. Okay, then we need to go look for Tig. So is that something here in the Kingdom Affairs? We didn't pass the month yet. Okay, now it looks like we can rank up. I can't remember what that said. I guess I can look back on the video. Was this the one that we just failed? We had cleared out everything from here, I thought. Okay, let's see if we can... Okay, we have to wait till he's done to work on this. This will require our involvement, so that'll take a couple weeks. Let's look at our stats. Doing pretty well with loyalty and economy. Could use some more espionage, arcane, and relations, culture. Let's look at our buildings. What are these little arrows? Can upgrade it to an inn once we become a town. Every 3 villages acquired in your domain will enable you to upgrade one of them to the town level. provided that 6 or more slots are occupied in the village. First upgrade must take place in the capital. Okay. We've put 6 buildings here. We're not doing anything for Arcane. In Tuskdale, at least. I think our other village, I think, is probably building a little bit of Arcane. Smithy. What can we put next to the shop? So the smithy would be good next to shop. Do we have anything that affects Arcane? Doesn't look like it. How are we doing on Divine? Let's actually go look at our other village. So they don't have anything for Arcane either. I thought maybe this, the alchemical shop is economy. Anything else for espionage that we should be doing here? Oh, if we have a herbalist house next to a shrine, that gives us +1 to Arcane. Maybe a shrine and herbalist house here in Trade Guard. Shrine likes to be next to a longhouse. Could put the shrine in the center of town. Build a shrine, we get some divine, and then an herbalist's house next to that, which will give us some loyalty and arcane. probably not being the most optimal with things here just because we don't know what we're doing. Guess these are just grayed out since we don't have enough build points. We're lacking in culture. We could put a dance hall in. Stick a dance hall down here. We need to buy some build points. Okay, we got some things going there. So I think we're okay at the moment for events. I don't know if we'll get some new things in the new month. I guess we could skip a couple of days. I think we'll just head out and come back. I think we're done talking to people for now. When we leave here, we can actually move stuff around from our stash here. Yeah, actually, so we don't have to go visit a merchant. Let's just throw these things in there for now. Well, it feels like we need to be focusing on the troll issues. I guess the question is, where? Is this where that mage is that we need to check on? Or is that a different mage? Troll clearing. Doesn't seem like anything new is happening up north. Since it's close, let's see if we can check out this trail in the hills. Right. So we've got some rain happening. Never know what kind of weather we're going to walk into. Is it raining or just cloudy? Maybe it's just nighttime. Can't tell. But it says it's okay. It's 4 in the morning.
March on.
You cannot stand against me.
Mature leopard. All right. Yeah, so I'm gonna look 7 to 12 damage, 1d6 plus 6. Then we enhance with Kian. Eight to 13, 1d6 plus 7. And then next time when we toggle this back on, we get even more of a bonus. Let's hit him with a bone shaker. Amiri, let's let you wait 1 second. Lindsay, run up here and put blur on Jathal.
Unworthy.
Okay, now.
Tear them apart! Repent.
So I guess we need to be a little bit careful that we keep a couple of the inflict wounds spells for use when we camp. I mean, I guess it's not that big of a deal. Jathal can heal with other stuff, but if we're relying on healing when we camp, we need to have some of those. Okay. Let's just use Touch of Fatigue. Try to enfeeble. Jeez. How many attacks did he get? 5? Wow.
Wretched things.
They go down!
Do a little bit of healing on Jathal. Man, I'm glad he's not hitting with many of those. Okay. We took care of the mature leopard. Got a skin. Okay. Let's see. This is a pretty small area. We'll see what else we find here. Composite short bow. Take a look at that. I don't think anybody's going to use that. Was that all we had here? Is that leopard?
No stopping now.
Did we miss something?
It is done.
Like an entrance or something? Guess that was it.
Follow me.
Okay. Well, we're going to stop there, and next time we'll head back out and find another place to explore. I really appreciate you watching, and I hope to see you back again. Thanks. Bye-bye.